Buteyko boost in 30 days. Rediscover the art of breathing. Valentin Duquesne. The discovery of breathing. My personal journey to the Buteyko method. For a long time in my life, breathing was something I took for granted, until I realized it was the root of many of my health problems. As a child, I often suffered from nasal congestion, colds, and later, chronic breathing problems. In adulthood, panic attacks began to appear, overwhelming me with a feeling of shortness of breath. Doctors prescribed medications that relieved symptoms but didn't offer a permanent solution. A turning point was a book I discovered by chance that mentioned the Buteyko method. Skeptical but curious, I began trying the first breathing exercises. It was amazing how something so simple, conscious nasal breathing, improved my sleep quality and my energy levels within the first few days. I felt like I had discovered a hidden secret. Over time, I expanded my practices and noticed profound changes in my well-being. My panic attacks became less frequent, my chronic fatigue disappeared, and I developed a deeper awareness of my body. Today, I share this experience with others in the hope that they, too, can transform their lives through the Buteyko method. Who was Dr. Konstantin Buteyko? A life dedicated to the science of respiration. Dr. Konstantin Buteyko, a Ukrainian physician, dedicated his life to the study of human breathing. Born in 1923 in the former Soviet Union, he demonstrated an extraordinary curiosity for medicine and physiology from an early age. While studying medicine, he discovered a pattern in patients with respiratory distress. The more severe their symptoms, the deeper and faster they breathed. This observation led him to the revolutionary discovery that chronic hyperventilation could be the root cause of many diseases. Dr. Buteyko developed breathing techniques aimed at reducing respiratory volume and promoting nasal breathing. His research was initially met with skepticism in the medical community, but he persevered. With patience and scientific precision, he demonstrated that regulating breathing can not only alleviate symptoms but also treat the underlying cause of many diseases. His commitment brought him not only recognition but also resistance, especially in the political climate of the Soviet Union. Despite the hurdles, he left behind a legacy that is now valued worldwide. Dr. Buteyko's method has helped millions of people and remains one of the most groundbreaking discoveries in modern medicine. The importance of breathing for body and mind. Breathing is one of our body's most basic functions, but also one of the most undervalued. Every cell in our body needs oxygen to function, but the way we breathe has far-reaching effects on our health. Excessive breathing, often referred to as hyperventilation, leads to an imbalance of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the body, which can cause a variety of problems. In addition to the physiological effects, our breathing also influences our mind. Stress and anxiety are often associated with shallow, rapid breathing, while deep, slow breaths activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which calms and relaxes the body. The Buteyko method demonstrates that conscious breathing is the foundation of health and well-being. By promoting nasal breathing and reducing the volume of breath, people can learn to regulate their nervous system, reduce inflammation, and increase energy. Breathing is more than just a reflex. It's a powerful tool that helps us strengthen the connection between body and mind and lead a balanced life. Chapter 1. The Basics of the Buteyko Method. What is the Buteyko Method? The Buteyko method is a breathing technique designed to normalize breathing and thereby promote health. Developed by Dr. Konstantin Buteyko, it is based on the realization that many modern illnesses, from asthma to anxiety disorders, are exacerbated or even caused by chronic overbreathing. The method focuses on three main principles: consciously reducing breathing volume, promoting nasal breathing, and restoring the body's natural balance of carbon dioxide and oxygen. Through targeted breathing exercises, practitioners learn to breathe shallower and slower, allowing the body to function more efficiently. What makes the Buteyko method special is its versatility. It can help not only with respiratory conditions such as asthma and sleep apnea, but also with high blood pressure, stress, and chronic fatigue. Furthermore, it is easy to learn and requires no special equipment, just a willingness to become more aware of and control your breathing. The concept of breath reduction, less is more. At the core of the Buteyko method is the principle of breath reduction. At first glance, this may sound counterintuitive. After all, we're often told that deep breathing is healthy. However, Dr. Buteyko discovered that deep, frequent breathing often leads to a loss of carbon dioxide, an essential gas the body needs for many physiological processes. Chronic overbreathing, or hyperventilation, leads to a reduction in carbon dioxide levels in the blood. This can result in oxygen being transported less efficiently to the cells, a condition known as the Bohr effect. By consciously reducing breathing volume, we can restore this balance and return the body to a state of optimal function. Breath reduction requires patience and practice. It's not easy to control the natural urge to breathe deeply, especially when you're stressed. But with daily practice, it becomes easier, and the positive effects, such as improved endurance, more energy, and a calmer mind, are worth the effort. Nasal breathing versus mouth breathing. Why breathing through the nose is crucial. One of the basic rules of the Buteyko method is, always breathe through your nose. Nasal breathing has numerous advantages over mouth breathing. The nose filters, warms, and humidifies the inhaled air before it enters the lungs. This protects the lungs from harmful particles and excessive dryness. Mouth breathing, on the other hand, is often associated with problems such as dry mouth, tooth erosion, and an increased risk of respiratory diseases. Mouth breathing, especially at night, can lead to snoring and sleep apnea, which significantly impairs sleep quality. Nasal breathing also plays an important role in regulating nitric oxide in the body, which is crucial for blood vessel dilation and oxygen transport. Dr. Buteyko emphasized that switching to consistent nasal breathing is one of the first steps toward improving breathing and overall health. Through simple exercises such as consciously closing the mouth and learning gentle nasal breathing, most people can experience the benefits of nasal breathing and breathe healthier in the long term. The balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the body. Breathing supplies our body with oxygen and removes carbon dioxide, a seemingly simple process. Yet the balance between these two gases is crucial to our health. Dr. Konstantin Buteyko recognized that it's not a lack of oxygen, but rather a low carbon dioxide level that can be the cause of many health problems. Carbon dioxide, CO, is not just a waste product of metabolism. It plays a key role in the oxygen supply to cells through the so-called Bohr effect. When CO levels in the blood drop, blood vessels constrict, and oxygen is delivered less efficiently by red blood cells to the cells. This can lead to symptoms such as dizziness, headaches, muscle cramps, and even chronic diseases. Hyperventilation, unconsciously excessive breathing, is the most common cause of imbalance. The Buteyko method aims to normalize CO levels in the body through targeted breathing reduction. Regular exercises help stabilize the breathing pattern over the long term, which improves oxygenation, stimulates circulation, and calms the nervous system. A correct balance between oxygen and carbon dioxide is essential not only for physical but also for mental health. People who understand and apply the principles of the Buteyko method often report increased concentration, less stress, and more energy in their daily lives. The most common misconceptions about breathing and the Buteyko method. Breathing is a natural, unconscious process, and this is precisely why many misconceptions exist about how to breathe properly. One of the most common misconceptions is that deep breathing is automatically better. Many believe that more oxygen is the solution to physical or mental problems. In reality, deep breathing can lower carbon dioxide levels in the blood and impair the oxygen supply to cells. Another misconception is that the Buteyko method is complicated or only suitable for people with respiratory diseases. In fact, it is easy to apply and can be practiced by anyone, regardless of health status or age. Many also believe the method is purely esoteric or scientifically unfounded, although numerous studies demonstrate its effectiveness, particularly for asthma and sleep apnea. The role of nasal breathing is also often underestimated. Many people breathe through their mouths, especially during sleep, and are unaware of the long-term disadvantages, such as dental problems, poor sleep quality, and increased susceptibility to infections. The Buteyko method dispels these myths and teaches us to see the importance of breathing in a new light. Proper breathing doesn't mean breathing more, but rather breathing more efficiently. A deeper understanding of these principles can not only alleviate health problems but also significantly improve the quality of life. Chapter 2. The Science Behind the Method. The Role of Carbon Dioxide, an underestimated gas. Carbon dioxide, CO, is often viewed as a mere metabolic waste product that must be eliminated during exhalation. However, this view is a gross oversimplification. In the Buteyko method, CO is considered an essential component of the life process, playing a key role in oxygenating cells and regulating numerous physiological processes. A key concept that highlights the importance of carbon dioxide is the Bohr effect. This describes how CO facilitates the release of oxygen from hemoglobin into cells. When carbon dioxide levels in the blood are low, a common result of chronic hyperventilation, oxygen remains more tightly bound to the hemoglobin and cannot reach the cells efficiently. This leads to a paradoxical situation. The body has sufficient oxygen, but the cells do not receive enough. In addition, CO acts as a natural vasodilator, relaxing blood vessels and promoting blood flow. Low CO levels can therefore lead to constriction of blood vessels, which increases blood pressure and limits oxygen supply to organs. The brain, in particular, is sensitive to these changes and often reacts to CO deficiency with symptoms such as dizziness, difficulty concentrating, and headaches. Another important aspect is the role of CO in regulating the body's acid-base balance. CO dissolves in water and forms carbonic acid, which influences the pH of the blood. Too low CO levels can lead to respiratory alkalosis, in which the blood becomes too alkaline. This impairs numerous biochemical processes and can trigger muscle cramps, tremors, and even panic attacks. The Buteyko method teaches how to stabilize CO levels through conscious breathing reduction. The goal is to normalize natural breathing depth and frequency so that the body retains enough carbon dioxide to support its vital functions. People who practice this method often report improved energy, clearer thoughts, and increased physical performance. Proof of how underestimated CO truly is. How respiration affects pH and cell health. The pH of the blood, which is normally slightly alkaline at around 7.35 to 7.45, is crucial for the health and function of the body. Deviations from this narrow range can have serious consequences, as many enzymes and metabolic processes are extremely sensitive to changes in pH. Respiration plays a central role in regulating this value, as it directly influences the carbon dioxide level in the blood. Carbon dioxide dissolves in the blood to form carbonic acid, which in turn decomposes into hydrogen and bicarbonate ions. This process is the primary mechanism by which the body regulates acid-base balance. Normal breathing ensures that sufficient CO is present to maintain a stable pH. Hyperventilation, on the other hand, leads to excessive CO excretion, which shifts the pH toward alkalosis. Respiratory alkalosis impairs cellular function in a variety of ways. One example is the reduced calcium ion concentration in the blood, which can lead to muscle cramps and nervousness. Oxygen release from hemoglobin is also hindered by the pH shift, further impairing cellular health. The Buteyko method addresses this issue by normalizing breathing patterns and thus restoring the balance between oxygen and carbon dioxide. Practitioners often report improvements in chronic conditions such as migraines, fibromyalgia, and fatigue syndromes, conditions often associated with impaired cellular function and unstable pH. The breathing exercises of the Buteyko method are designed to gently raise CO levels and stabilize the body's buffering system. This not only improves cellular health but also the body's ability to adapt to stress and fight inflammation. Neurological and physiological effects of breathing patterns. Breathing has profound effects on the brain and body. As a vital function, it influences not only oxygen supply but also nervous system activity, hormone secretion, and the regulation of bodily functions. Deviations from a natural breathing pattern can therefore have far-reaching neurological and physiological consequences. A healthy breathing pattern activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the part of the autonomic nervous system responsible for rest and recovery. Shallow, conscious breathing lowers the heart rate, reduces blood pressure, and promotes digestion. Hyperventilation, on the other hand, a common symptom of stress and anxiety, activates the sympathetic nervous system, leading to overstimulation of the body. Symptoms such as palpitations, sweating, and restlessness can result. In the brain, breathing affects oxygen and glucose supply. Chronic overbreathing can reduce blood flow to the brain, which can cause concentration problems, dizziness, and even depression. At the same time, low CO levels can increase the excitability of nerve cells, increasing the likelihood of seizures or nervousness. The Buteyko method aims to bring breathing into a natural, relaxed rhythm. This not only calms the nervous system but also improves the function of other organs. People with neurological disorders such as migraines or epilepsy often report a significant improvement in their symptoms after regular practice of the Buteyko method. What does research say? Studies and results on the Buteyko method. The Buteyko method has attracted considerable interest among scientists and physicians in recent decades. Numerous studies have investigated its effectiveness, particularly in the treatment of asthma, sleep apnea, and other respiratory diseases. One of the most well-known studies was published in 1998 in the Medical Journal of Australia. It showed that patients with asthma who practiced the Buteyko method experienced a significant reduction in their medication requirements and an improvement in their quality of life. Their respiratory rate and company levels also normalized compared to the control group. Further research, for example at the University of Glasgow, confirmed that the Buteyko method helps improve sleep quality in sleep apnea patients. Participants reported fewer nighttime interruptions and less dependence on CPAP devices. In addition, there are anecdotal reports and smaller studies that suggest the method may be helpful for chronic fatigue, anxiety disorders, and even rehabilitation after cardiovascular disease. Critics point to the existing research often having methodological weaknesses, but the positive results speak for themselves. The Buteyko method does not compete with modern medicine, but rather complements it. It offers a simple, non-invasive way to address breathing problems and their causes, a perspective increasingly appreciated by both scientists and practitioners. Chapter 3. Practical application of the Buteyko method. Getting started. Requirements for training. Getting started with the Buteyko method doesn't require any special equipment or prior knowledge. All you need is a quiet space, some time, and the willingness to become more aware of your breathing. However, there are some prerequisites and preparations that can facilitate the success of the training. The right time and place. Choose a quiet room where you won't be disturbed. Ideally, the room should be well ventilated, but not too cold or too hot. The best time to practice is in the morning after waking up or in the evening before bedtime, when the body is relaxed and there are fewer external distractions. Physical and mental preparation. Wear comfortable clothing that doesn't restrict your breathing. Adopt an upright, relaxed posture, either sitting or lying down. Try observing your breathing for a few minutes before beginning the exercises to familiarize yourself with your natural breathing rhythm. Consider health considerations. People with serious respiratory conditions, heart problems, or other health conditions should consult a physician before beginning the Buteyko method. The exercises can be adapted to individual needs, but should be started slowly and under supervision. The right mindset. The Buteyko method isn't a sprint, but a process. Patience and regular practice are the keys to success. Many people notice initial improvements after just a few days, but long-term results require consistency. Control pause. CP. A key indicator. The control pause, CP, is a central component of the Buteyko method and serves both as a diagnostic tool and for monitoring success. It measures the time you can hold your breath after a normal exhalation before the first natural breath impulse occurs. Why is CP important? CP indicates the carbon dioxide level in your body and therefore the efficiency of your breathing. A low value indicates hyperventilation, while a higher value indicates normal and healthy breathing. According to Buteyko, the optimal CP value is around 40 seconds or more. How is CP measured? Sit upright and relaxed. Breathe in and out normally without taking a deep breath. After a normal exhalation, hold your nose and start a timer. Let go as soon as you feel the first clear need to breathe again and note the time. What do the results mean? Under 20 seconds. Hyperventilation, often associated with symptoms such as asthma, anxiety or fatigue. 20-40 seconds. Acceptable, but could be improved. Over 40 seconds. Normal breathing and good oxygen supply to the cells. CP can be measured daily to document progress. The goal of the Buteyko method is to gradually increase CP by normalizing breathing patterns. The most important Buteyko exercises. Step-by-step instructions. The Buteyko method includes a series of exercises aimed at normalizing breathing and stabilizing carbon dioxide levels in the body. Here are the 3 basic exercises with step-by-step instructions. Light breathing. Goal: reduction of breathing volume. Sit down in a relaxed position. Close your mouth and breathe through your nose. Breathe in as gently as possible so that the airflow is barely noticeable. Consciously keep your exhalation long and even. Be careful not to take a deep breath. Your breathing should remain shallow and quiet. Practice this for 10-15 minutes, ideally twice a day. Practice breathing pauses. Breath holding. Goal: improve CO levels and CP. Breathe in and out normally. After exhaling, hold your breath by gently closing your nose. Release the air as soon as you feel a strong desire to breathe. Repeat this 5-10 times with 1 minute rest between breath holds. Extended exhalation, extended exhale. Goal: activation of the parasympathetic nervous system. Breathe in normally and consciously lengthen your exhalation so that it lasts twice as long as your inhalation. Do this in a relaxed, calm rhythm for 5-10 minutes. Notes on practice. Start slowly and only increase the intensity when you feel confident. Listen to your body. If you feel dizzy or unwell, stop the exercise and rest. Regular practice is crucial. Daily practice leads to long-term improvements. With these exercises, the Buteyko method lays the foundation for a lasting improvement in breathing and general health. Breathing exercises for everyday life. Integration into work and leisure. Integrating the Buteyko method into your daily routine is crucial for achieving long-term success. While specific exercises should be performed in a quiet environment, there are numerous ways to incorporate conscious breathing techniques into your work and leisure time without them being time-consuming or disruptive. Breathing exercises at work. Everyday work is often characterized by stress and hecticness, which can subconsciously influence breathing patterns. Here are simple exercises that can be practiced during breaks or even while working. Conscious nasal breathing. Keep your mouth closed and breathe exclusively through your nose. When you notice yourself breathing through your mouth, consciously return to nasal breathing. Mini breaks. Take 1-2 minutes to slow your breathing. Inhale gently and exhale slowly. This technique helps lower your heart rate and calm your mind. Silent breathing. Breathe as quietly as possible without your colleagues noticing. This exercise promotes concentration and minimizes hyperventilation. Breathing exercises in motion. Buteyko method can also help with physical activities. While walking, reduce your breathing volume by taking gentle, shallow breaths through your nose while taking slow steps. Occasionally, hold your breath for a few steps after exhaling to practice your control pause. During exercise, focus on breathing exclusively through your nose, even during moderate exercise. This improves endurance and supports lung function. Relaxation in your free time. Leisure activities offer ideal opportunities to integrate breathing exercises. While reading or watching TV, consciously observe your breathing and be careful not to inhale too deeply. Gently lengthen your exhalation. Before going to sleep, perform gentle breathing exercises for 5-10 minutes to activate the parasympathetic nervous system and prepare the body for sleep. By integrating these short breathing breaks into your work and leisure time, you can improve your breathing and achieve long-term health benefits without any additional time investment. The ideal practice environment. Tips for calm and focus. The environment in which you practice the Buteyko method greatly influences the quality of your practice. A suitable atmosphere promotes relaxation, concentration, and the ability to perform the exercises effectively. Quiet and undisturbed place. Choose a place where you won't be distracted. Put your phone on silent and avoid other distractions like loud music or the TV. A quiet room, whether a bedroom or a separate study, is ideal. Pleasant indoor climate. The temperature and air quality of the room play an important role. Make sure the room is well ventilated and the air is neither too dry nor too humid. A slightly cool room, 18-20 degrees Celsius, is ideal, as heat or stuffy air can make breathing difficult. Comfortable sitting or lying position. Use a soft surface like a yoga mat or pillow. Sit upright with relaxed shoulders to facilitate breathing. Alternatively, you can lie flat on your back as long as you don't fall asleep. Minimizing external stimuli. Light. Dim the lights or use candles to create a calming atmosphere. Sounds. If complete silence isn't possible, you can play soft nature sounds or meditative music to mask ambient noise. Organization of practice time. Scheduling. Set a specific time for your exercise, such as first thing in the morning after you wake up or last thing in the evening before you go to bed. This helps you develop a routine. Duration. Start with 10-15 minutes per session and gradually increase as you feel more comfortable. Mental preparation. Before you begin the exercises, take a moment to calm down. Close your eyes if that's comfortable for you and focus your attention on your breathing. Imagine your breath relaxing your body and energizing you. Accessories and tools. While the Buteyko method does not require any special equipment, some tools may be helpful. Timer or stopwatch. For measuring the control pause. CP. Notebook. For recording progress and observations. Blanket. For extra comfort, especially during longer sessions. An ideal practice environment not only makes practice more enjoyable, but also supports the development. Chapter 4. Applications of the Buteyko method. Asthma. The first clinical application. Asthma is one of the most commonly diagnosed chronic diseases worldwide, and the Buteyko method originated in the treatment of this disease. Dr. Konstantin Buteyko discovered during his medical work in the 1950s that most of his asthma patients exhibited a common pattern. They breathed deeply, rapidly, and often through their mouths. This breathing pattern, known as hyperventilation, worsened their symptoms and led to a vicious cycle of shortness of breath and stress. The Buteyko method aims to break this vicious cycle by reducing breathing frequency and depth and promoting nasal breathing. The central idea behind the method is that chronic overbreathing lowers the carbon dioxide level in the blood. However, carbon dioxide is crucial for respiratory function, as it relaxes the bronchi and improves oxygen supply. A lack of carbon dioxide leads to a narrowing of the airways, which increases typical asthma symptoms such as wheezing, chest tightness, and shortness of breath. The first clinical applications. Dr. Buteyko began systematically testing his method on asthma patients. The results were impressive. Patients who regularly practiced the Buteyko exercises reported noticeable relief from their symptoms. Many of them were able to reduce their medication dosage or even stop using bronchodilators altogether. These early successes prompted him to further develop the method and apply it to other chronic conditions. How does the Buteyko method help with asthma? Promotes nasal breathing. Breathing through the nose filters, humidifies, and warms the air before it enters the lungs. This reduces airway irritation, which is common in asthmatics. Normalization of carbon dioxide levels. By specifically reducing the volume of breathing, the CO level is stabilized, which relaxes the airways and reduces the risk of bronchospasms. Improving lung function. Regular breathing exercises train the lung muscles and promote breathing efficiency. Studies and evidence. The effectiveness of the Buteyko method for asthma has been proven in several studies. One of the most well-known studies, published in 1998 in the Medical Journal of Australia, showed that asthma patients who practiced the Buteyko method achieved a reduction in their medication intake of up to 90%. Their symptoms were also significantly reduced, while their quality of life improved. Practical application in everyday life. Asthma patients can easily integrate the Buteyko method into their daily routine. Exercises such as the controlled pause and easy breathing help relieve acute symptoms and normalize breathing patterns in the long term. The method is particularly valuable because it does not require invasive procedures or expensive equipment. Limitations of the method. Although the Buteyko method has shown many positive results, it is not a substitute for medical treatment in severe asthma cases. It should be used as a complementary measure, ideally under the supervision of a trained Buteyko therapist. Sleep apnea and snoring. Solutions for better sleep. Sleep apnea and snoring are common sleep disorders that can significantly impact not only the quality of life of those affected but also their health. The Buteyko method offers a natural, non-invasive way to alleviate these problems by normalizing breathing patterns during sleep. What is sleep apnea? Sleep apnea is characterized by repeated pauses in breathing during sleep, which can lead to oxygen deprivation, impaired sleep quality, and long-term health problems. Snoring, on the other hand, is often a precursor or accompanying symptom of sleep apnea and is caused by vibrations of the tissue in the upper airway. How does the Buteyko method help? Promotes nasal breathing. Snoring and sleep apnea are often associated with mouth breathing. The Buteyko method teaches breathing through the nose, which keeps the airways open and improves sleep quality. Reduction of breathing pauses. The exercises stabilize the CO level, which strengthens the respiratory muscles and reduces breathing pauses. Improves sleep hygiene. Many people snore or experience sleep apnea because they unconsciously hyperventilate. The Buteyko method helps reduce breathing rate and regulate breathing during sleep. Practical exercises for relief. Nasal breathing exercises. Nasal breathing exercises practiced during the day promote the habit of breathing through the nose even while sleeping. Head position while sleeping. A slightly elevated head position can facilitate nasal breathing and reduce snoring. Breath reduction exercises before bed. Light breathing or prolonged exhalation calms the nervous system and promotes deeper, more relaxed breathing during sleep. Research results. Studies have shown that the Buteyko method can significantly reduce the symptoms of sleep apnea. Participants reported less dependence on CPAP devices and improved sleep quality. Long-term benefits. Normalizing breathing through the Buteyko method can not only relieve snoring and sleep apnea, but also reduce the risk of related conditions such as high blood pressure and heart problems. It offers a sustainable solution that does not require medication or invasive procedures. Anxiety and stress. Breathing as a means of self-regulation. Anxiety and stress are among the most common challenges of modern life. They are often accompanied by rapid, shallow breathing, which further strains the autonomic nervous system. The Buteyko method offers an effective way to break these negative patterns and bring body and mind into balance. How are breathing and anxiety related? Breathing is closely linked to the nervous system. While the sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight mode, accelerates breathing, slow, conscious breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for relaxation and recovery. Chronic hyperventilation, which often occurs in anxiety, lowers CO levels in the blood, triggering neurological symptoms such as dizziness, tingling, and a feeling of shortness of breath. All triggers for panic. How does the Buteyko method help? Calming the nervous system. By prolonging the exhalation and reducing the volume of breathing, the parasympathetic nervous system is activated, which relaxes the body, breaking the vicious cycle. Exercises such as pause control help to become aware of the breath and reduce the physiological symptoms of anxiety. Long-term resilience. Regular practice strengthens the ability to remain calm and control breathing in stressful situations. Practical exercises against anxiety and stress. Gentle nasal breathing. Make sure to breathe through your nose and make your breathing gentle in stressful situations. Extended exhalation. Exhale slowly so that the exhalation is twice as long as the inhalation. Consciously use breathing pauses. After a normal exhalation, hold your breath for a few seconds to calm your body. Research results. The Buteyko method has been linked to significant reductions in anxiety and stress symptoms in studies. Participants reported an improved sense of control and increased resilience to stress. The power of conscious breathing. The Buteyko method is a simple yet effective strategy for managing anxiety and stress. By focusing on breathing, it offers not only short-term relief but also long-term tools for greater inner balance and well-being. High blood pressure, breathing and cardiovascular system. High blood pressure, hypertension, is one of the most common chronic diseases worldwide and a significant risk factor for heart attack, stroke, and other cardiovascular problems. The Buteyko method offers a natural, non-invasive way to lower high blood pressure by regulating breathing and thus the function of the cardiovascular system. How does breathing affect blood pressure? Chronic hyperventilation is an often unrecognized contributor to high blood pressure. Excessive breathing reduces carbon dioxide levels in the blood, causing vasoconstriction, narrowing of blood vessels. This increases the resistance the heart must pump against, which in turn raises blood pressure. Additionally, rapid, shallow breathing activates the sympathetic nervous system, the part of the autonomic nervous system responsible for the fight or flight response, thus increasing stress levels and blood pressure. The effect of the Buteyko method on blood pressure. The Buteyko method works on several levels. Normalization of CO levels. By reducing the breathing volume, the vascular muscles relax, which leads to better blood circulation and lower blood pressure. Calming the nervous system. Conscious breathing exercises activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which puts the body into a state of relaxation and lowers blood pressure. Improvement of oxygen supply. Stabilized breathing enables more efficient oxygen supply to the organs, which relieves the strain on the cardiovascular system. Practical application. Daily breathing exercises. Patients with hypertension benefit from regular Buteyko exercises such as easy breathing and pause control, CP. Stress management through breathing. Conscious breathing exercises help reduce stress, which is often a trigger factor for high blood pressure. Combination with lifestyle changes. The method should be used in conjunction with a healthy diet, exercise and adequate sleep for best results. Results and studies. Studies have shown that the Buteyko method can reduce blood pressure by an average of 10 to 15 mmHg, particularly in patients with mild to moderate hypertension. Participants also report improved stress tolerance and an overall improvement in their quality of life. Sports and fitness. Improving performance through breath control. Breath control is not only important for overall health but also a crucial factor in athletic performance. The Buteyko method has proven to be an effective strategy for improving athletes' endurance, efficiency, and recovery. The role of breathing in sports. During exercise, breathing is crucial for oxygenating muscles and producing energy. However, many athletes tend to breathe excessively through their mouths, especially during intense exercise. This leads to a rapid loss of CO, which impairs the release of oxygen from the blood to the muscles. The consequences are premature fatigue, cramps, and reduced performance. How the Buteyko method improves performance. Promotes nasal breathing. This method teaches breathing through the nose, even during intense exercise. This improves oxygen intake and reduces energy loss due to inefficient mouth breathing. Increase CO tolerance. Regular breathing exercises increase the body's ability to tolerate higher CO levels, which optimizes oxygen availability to the muscles. Improved recovery. Post-workout breathing exercises speed up recovery by calming the nervous system and putting the body into a resting state more quickly. Practical application for athletes. Breathing training during activity. Athletes can practice nasal breathing during light to moderate exercise to increase their CO tolerance. Breathing pauses during training. Short breath holds can be integrated during training to promote the body's adaptation to increased stress. Post-exercise recovery exercises. After exercise, breathing exercises such as prolonged exhalation can be performed to lower the heart rate and promote relaxation. Success stories and research. Professional athletes from various disciplines have reported that the Buteyko method has improved their performance. Studies confirm that regular breathing exercises increase VO max, maximum oxygen uptake, and reduce recovery time after intense workouts. Children and Buteyko. Adaptations and benefits. The Buteyko method is not only suitable for adults but can also help children improve their health and quality of life. Respiratory problems such as asthma, chronic nasal congestion, and anxiety disorders are common among children, and the Buteyko method offers a gentle and effective solution. Why children benefit from the method? Children who frequently breathe through their mouths are prone to a variety of health problems, including respiratory problems, jaw misalignment, and sleep disturbances. The Buteyko method promotes nasal breathing and corrects breathing patterns before long-term damage occurs. Adaptations for children. Shorter exercise sessions. Children often have shorter attention spans. Exercises should last no longer than 5–10 minutes and should be playful. Simple explanations. Instead of complex theory, children should learn the exercises as a nasal breathing game or calm breathing. Parents as role models. Parents can do the exercises together with their children to promote a positive attitude towards breathing. The most important exercises for children. Practice nasal breathing. Children can practice keeping their mouth closed and breathing gently through their nose. For example, while reading or playing. Breath holding exercises. Playful breathing exercises, such as counting how long you can hold your breath, help promote breath awareness. Calming breathing before bed. Gentle breathing exercises before going to bed promote relaxation and better sleep. Benefits of the Buteyko method for children. Relief from asthma and respiratory diseases. Children who use the method report fewer asthma attacks and a reduced need for medication. Improved concentration and sleep quality. By regulating breathing, children can sleep better and improve their cognitive performance. Long-term health. The method lays the foundation for healthy breathing patterns that reduce the risk of chronic diseases in adulthood. Testimonials and success stories. Parents report that their children have not only experienced health improvements through the Buteyko method, but also developed greater self-confidence and a zest for life. The method offers a safe, effective, and sustainable way to support children's health and provide them with a solid foundation for a healthy life. Chapter 5. Practical challenges and solutions. What to do if you encounter initial difficulties. The Buteyko method requires adjustment and patience, especially for beginners who are accustomed to unconscious breathing patterns. It's perfectly normal to encounter challenges, as the body needs time to adjust to the new way of breathing. The following tips will help overcome initial difficulties. Developing an understanding of the method. Many people feel frustrated because they don't notice immediate progress. It's important to understand the basics of the Buteyko method and set realistic expectations. Initial improvements are subtle, like easier breathing or a calmer mind, and become more noticeable over time. Simplify the exercises. If an exercise seems difficult, reduce its intensity or duration. For example, you can shorten the breathing pauses or practice easy breathing for just a few minutes instead of doing the full recommended duration. Consistency over perfection. Instead of focusing on perfection, focus on consistency. Even 5 minutes a day can lead to noticeable improvements in the long run. The key is to make the method a regular part of your daily routine. Be patient with yourself. It's normal for your breathing to temporarily deteriorate in stressful situations or during physical activity. Accept these setbacks as part of the process and return to the exercises once you feel more confident. Seek support. Some people benefit from the guidance of a trained Buteyko trainer. They can identify specific challenges and suggest adjustments tailored to your individual needs. How to avoid dizziness and discomfort during exercises. Dizziness or discomfort are common complaints among beginners adapting to the Buteyko method. These symptoms are usually temporary and arise from the conscious change in breathing pattern. However, with the right strategies, they can be avoided or minimized. Understanding the causes. Dizziness is often caused by an increase in CO levels, as the body is not accustomed to a higher tolerance for this gas. Discomfort can also be triggered by excessive breath holding or overly intense exercise. Start slowly. Begin with short, gentle exercises. Breathe gently and gradually reduce your breathing volume rather than drastically reducing it. When performing breath hold exercises, Hold the pauses only for as long as feels comfortable. Listen to your body. Pay attention to how your body feels during the exercises. If you feel dizzy or unwell, stop the exercise and return to normal, relaxed nasal breathing. Do not resume the exercises until you feel comfortable again, sitting or lying down. If you're prone to dizziness, perform the exercises in a safe environment, such as sitting in a chair or lying on a yoga mat. This minimizes the risk of falling if the dizziness persists. Unsure? Ask questions. If symptoms persist, talk to a trained Buteyko therapist. He or she can review your technique and recommend adjustments to make the exercises more comfortable. Detecting and correcting errors. A checklist for users. Correct execution of the Buteyko method is crucial to its success. Even small errors can impair its effectiveness or lead to discomfort. This checklist will help you identify and correct common mistakes. Mouth breathing instead of nasal breathing. Mistake: breathing through the mouth, especially during exercises. Solution: keep your mouth closed and breathe exclusively through your nose. If your nose is blocked, use gentle nasal irrigation or the Buteyko technique to open your nose. Holding your breath too long. Mistake: breath holding pauses are performed for too long, which can cause discomfort. Solution: shorten the breathing pauses and gradually lengthen them as your body gets used to them. Excessive exertion. Mistake: the exercises are performed with too much pressure or concentration, which can lead to stress. Solution: relax and perform the exercises with a sense of ease. Breathe gently and without force. Incorrect posture. Mistakes: sunken shoulders, a tense back or a bent neck hinder breathing. Solution: sit or stand upright so your airways remain clear. A relaxed posture promotes the effectiveness of the exercises. Irregular practice. Mistake: the exercises are carried out irregularly or unstructured. Solution: create a fixed practice plan and set small goals to ensure you practice the method consistently. Lack of mindfulness. Mistake: the exercises are performed mechanically, without paying attention to the breath. Solution: focus completely on your breathing. Observe how it changes and consciously notice how your body feels. Unrealistic expectations. Mistake: expecting quick results, which can lead to frustration. Solution: remember that the Buteyko method is a long-term practice. Progress comes with patience and consistency. With these strategies, you can overcome typical challenges and effectively apply the Buteyko method. Patience, mindfulness, and correct technique are the keys to long-term success and sustainable improvement in your health. How to stay motivated. Tips for long-term success. The Buteyko method is a path of continuous improvement that requires patience and perseverance. However, as with any new habit, maintaining motivation over the long term can be difficult. This section offers practical tips on how to stay motivated and integrate the method into your daily routine on a permanent basis. Set clear goals. Why practice the Buteyko method? A clearly defined goal can help you stay focused and committed. This could be relief from asthma symptoms, improved sleep quality, or stress management. Write down your goal and place it somewhere visible for regular reminders. Long-term versus short-term goals. Break your main goal down into smaller, achievable milestones. For example, if your goal is to increase pause control, CP, set a milestone, such as increasing your CP by 5 seconds in 1 month. Integrate the exercises into your routine. Develop a daily habit. Regularity is the key to success. Integrate the Buteyko exercises with existing habits, such as brushing your teeth or your morning routine. This way, practicing becomes a natural part of your daily routine. Schedule time slots. Set specific times for your practice. For example, first thing in the morning after you wake up or last thing in the evening before you go to bed. A consistent schedule minimizes the likelihood of forgetting or procrastinating. Keep a progress diary. Document your progress. Record your exercises, CP scores, and subjective experiences in a journal. This will help you visualize your progress and celebrate successes, even if they seem small. Reflect regularly. Read past posts to see how far you've come. Even subtle improvements, like less shortness of breath or a feeling of calm, can be motivating. Reward yourself. Celebrate small successes. Set small rewards for reaching intermediate goals. This could be a relaxing bath, a new workout item, or an evening with friends. Rewards create positive associations with the practice and increase your motivation. Recognition from others. Share your progress with family or friends who appreciate your efforts. A supportive environment can encourage you to keep going. Get support. Find a partner or group. Practicing the Buteyko method with a friend or in a group can be motivating. Sharing experiences and successes creates a sense of community and connection. Professional guidance. A Buteyko trainer can not only provide valuable feedback but also act as a motivator. Regular sessions with an expert provide you with clear structure and guidance. Identify obstacles and plan ahead. What's preventing you from practicing? Identify potential obstacles, such as lack of time, fatigue, or doubts about the method. Find solutions to overcome these challenges, such as shorter sessions or practicing in a quieter environment. Develop a plan B if you skip an exercise. Plan alternatives. Even a brief moment of conscious breathing is better than nothing and will keep you on track. Remember the benefits. Focus on the positive results. Regularly remind yourself of the benefits of the Buteyko method. Better health, more energy, less stress. Visualize how your life will improve in the long term through your practice. Read inspiring stories. Read testimonials from others who have achieved success with the Buteyko method. These stories can encourage you to continue on your own path. Avoid perfectionism. Accept setbacks. It's normal to have days when the exercises are difficult or seem less effective. Don't view these moments as failures, but rather as part of the learning process. Stay flexible. If your daily routine is stressful, adapt your exercises. Even a few minutes of conscious breathing can be valuable and help you stay on track. Vary your practice. Keep it varied. If the exercises seem monotonous, try variations or combine the method with other relaxing activities like yoga or meditation. This will keep your practice interesting and fresh. Seek new challenges. Once you've mastered the basics, set new goals. For example, you can lengthen your breathing pauses or incorporate the exercises into more challenging situations, such as sports. Remember your why. Strengthen your personal motivation. Regularly ask yourself why you started the Buteyko method, whether it's to improve your health, manage stress, or enhance your quality of life. Your personal reason will give you the strength to stick with it. Long-term motivation comes from a combination of goal setting, structure, and flexibility. By implementing these tips, you can successfully integrate the Buteyko method into your daily routine and reap its numerous health benefits. Remember, every breathing exercise you practice is a step toward a healthier, more balanced life. Chapter 6. Case Studies and Experience Reports. Healing through breathing. Experiences of those affected. The Buteyko method has helped countless people around the world improve their health and find freedom from chronic conditions. Testimonials from those affected demonstrate how transformative the effects of conscious breathing can be. These stories illustrate that the Buteyko method is not just a technique, but a holistic approach to healing. One example is Anne, a 45-year-old teacher who suffered from chronic nasal congestion and recurring colds for years. Despite numerous medications and treatments, she found no lasting relief. Only when she tried the Buteyko method did she experience noticeable improvement. After just a few weeks of daily exercises, she was able to breathe freely through her nose again. Anne reports that she became more balanced not only physically but also emotionally. It felt like I could finally breathe deeply again, literally and figuratively. She describes her experience. Another sufferer, Marcus, who suffered from chronic sleep apnea, describes how the method changed his life. For years, Marcus was dependent on a CPAP device, which he found annoying. Through regular practice of the Buteyko method, he learned to breathe through his nose and control his breathing. After a few months, he was able to stop using the CPAP device completely. His nighttime breathing pauses drastically reduced, and he felt more rested and productive during the day. People with psychological problems, such as anxiety disorders or panic attacks, also report the healing effects of the method. For Lisa, a 32-year-old graphic designer, the Buteyko method was a turning point in her ability to cope with stress. I learned that my shallow breathing was increasing my anxiety. With the exercises, I was able to calm my breathing and, in turn, my mind, she says. Today, Lisa uses the technique not only in acute stressful situations, but also as a daily tool for relaxation. These stories demonstrate that the Buteyko method not only alleviates symptoms but also increases awareness of one's own breathing and health. Those affected feel empowered to take action and responsibility for their well-being. The method offers a simple yet profound way to improve life through something as fundamental as conscious breathing. Freed from asthma. Success stories with the Buteyko method. Asthma is one of the most widespread chronic diseases worldwide. For many patients, everyday life is dominated by medications, inhalers, and the constant worry of an attack. But the Buteyko method has shown that it can break this cycle and give asthma patients a new lease on life. Success stories from sufferers underscore the effectiveness of this breathing technique. One striking example is Catherine, a 28-year-old student who suffered from severe asthma since childhood. She had to take several medications every day and yet often felt restricted. I felt like my life was controlled by my illness, she recalls. Following a recommendation, Catherine began using the Buteyko method. At first, she found it difficult to consciously reduce her breathing and breathe through her nose, but after a few weeks, she noticed initial improvements. Her attacks became less frequent, and she was able to gradually reduce her medication dosage. Today, Catherine lives largely symptom-free. The method has given me back the freedom to shape my own life, she says. 12-year-old Jonas is another example of the transformative power of the Buteyko method. Jonas struggled with asthma as a toddler. Physical activity was challenging for him, and his parents worried about his quality of life. After hearing about the method, they enrolled Jonas in a Buteyko class. Through play, he learned to control his breathing and breathe through his nose. His mother describes how Jonas made progress after just a few months. He was suddenly able to play soccer again without shortness of breath and had much more energy. Today, Jonas is an active, happy child who continues to use the method to maintain his health. Adults also report similar experiences. Martin, an avid hiker, often had to forego activities he loved due to his asthma. I felt like I was constantly running out of breath, even on simple hikes, he says. After a Buteyko seminar, he began practicing the exercises consistently. Martin noticed that he could suddenly last longer while hiking without feeling short of breath. He is now able to tackle challenging mountain climbs that he previously would have considered impossible. The success stories also demonstrate that the Buteyko method is an ideal complement to conventional medical treatment. Many patients report that the method not only alleviates their symptoms but also reduces their need for medication. This gives them back a sense of control and independence. In addition to the physical benefits, the method also has emotional effects. Many patients report that conscious breathing reduces their fear of a seizure. This mental relief helps further promote the healing process and sustainably improves quality of life. The stories of asthma patients who have controlled their symptoms through the Buteyko method are inspiring and motivating. They demonstrate that taking control of one's breathing can also restore control of one's health. With patience and consistent practice, sufferers can lead a life no longer dominated by their condition. Breathing in practice. Experience reports from teachers and therapists. The Buteyko method has not only transformed the lives of those affected, but has also revolutionized the work of teachers and therapists who teach this breathing technique. Their testimonials provide insight into the practice of the method, the challenges of teaching it, and the successes they experience with their clients. Teachers report on the challenges of the transition. Many Buteyko teachers say that the biggest step for their clients is often the conscious transition from old breathing patterns to the principles of the method. Maria, an experienced Buteyko trainer, describes how she supports initially skeptical clients. Many people are surprised at how profoundly their breathing affects their health. The challenge is to convince them that breathing less actually brings more benefits. She uses simple visualizations and scientific explanations to build clients' confidence in the method. Therapists also report that it's important to adapt the exercises to the individual. Peter, a respiratory therapist, emphasizes, no two clients are the same. Some need longer pauses for breathing, while others need to begin transitioning to nasal breathing. The method is flexible enough to be adapted to each individual. Successes in working with different target groups. Teachers and therapists consider the Buteyko method particularly effective for chronic conditions such as asthma, sleep apnea, and anxiety disorders. One therapist tells of a client with severe asthma who, through regular breathing exercises, was able to not only relieve his symptoms but also reduce his medication needs by 50%. It was impressive to see how regular practice improved his quality of life. He felt free for the first time in years. The method has also been very successful with children. A teacher reports on her work with an 8-year-old boy who suffered from chronic nasal congestion. He was often tired and unfocused because he breathed through his mouth. Through playful exercises, he was able to learn to breathe through his nose again, which significantly improved his energy and concentration in everyday life. Mental and emotional benefits. In addition to the physical changes, teachers and therapists also report the method's positive effects on their clients' mental health. Joanna, a breathwork coach, recounts how she helped a client with anxiety disorders find calm and control through the Buteyko method. Conscious breathing gives people the feeling of regaining control over their bodies. This is especially crucial for anxiety and panic attacks. Another aspect is the method's ability to reduce stress. Teachers report that many clients use the exercises to remain more relaxed in everyday life. I work a lot with people who suffer from professional stress, says Martin, an experienced Buteyko trainer. After a few weeks, they report feeling calmer and more focused because they can reduce their stress levels through breathing. Challenges and solutions in practice. While the method offers many benefits, teachers also report challenges. One of the most common is clients' lack of patience. Some expect quick results, explains Peter. It's our job to encourage them to stick with it and keep the long-term benefits in mind. Another obstacle is integrating the method into everyday life. People often think they don't have time for the exercises, says Maria. I help them integrate the breathing techniques into their daily routine. For example, while working or taking a walk. The reward. Client success. Despite these challenges, teachers and therapists report that their clients' successes are worth the effort. It's incredibly satisfying to see people transform their lives through the method, says Joanna. I had a client who suffered from sleep apnea for years. After 6 months, she was able to sleep without a CPAP device and felt more rested than ever. Another teacher recalls a client who suffered from chronic back pain for years. He realized that his shallow breathing was related to his tension. Through the Buteyko exercises, he was able to not only improve his breathing but also reduce the pain. A tool for long-term health. Therapists emphasize that the Buteyko method is not just a short-term solution, but a tool that can accompany clients throughout their lives. The method teaches people to take their health into their own hands, says Martin. That's one of the greatest gifts we can pass on as teachers. These testimonials demonstrate the versatility of the Buteyko method and how it can improve people's lives in a variety of situations. For teachers and therapists, it's not just a technique, but a way to help others sustainably improve their health and well-being. Chapter 7. The Buteyko method in a modern context. The role of the method in holistic medicine. Holistic medicine views the human being as a unity of body, mind, and spirit. Within this approach, the Buteyko method is increasingly recognized as a valuable tool that activates the body's self-healing powers and complements traditional treatment approaches. By optimizing breathing as a central bodily function, it contributes to a better balance of all systems in the body. A link between conventional and complementary medicine. In conventional medicine, the Buteyko method is primarily used as a supportive therapy for chronic respiratory diseases such as asthma and sleep apnea. Studies show that it reduces symptoms and reduces the need for medication, without invasive procedures or side effects. At the same time, it fits seamlessly into complementary medicine, which is often based on natural, patient-centered methods. The method not only promotes the relief of physical discomfort but also the regulation of the nervous system, making it effective in treating stress and psychological distress. Advantages of preventive approaches. In preventive medicine, the Buteyko method is valued as a means of preventing chronic diseases. Since many health problems, from high blood pressure to sleep disorders, are associated with impaired breathing, the method offers an opportunity to correct these problems early on. Through regular breathing exercises, people can not only promote their physical health but also increase their resistance to stress and environmental influences. A tool for self-empowerment. An important aspect of holistic medicine is empowering the patient to actively participate in their healing. The Buteyko method requires no expensive equipment or medications. It is based on a skill that everyone possesses: breathing. Through training and regular practice, patients can learn to self-manage their symptoms and sustainably improve their quality of life. Integration into existing treatment plans. The method can be easily integrated into existing treatment plans. Patients already participating in therapy programs can use the Buteyko method as a complement to optimize results. It is already being used successfully in rehabilitation centers, wellness clinics, and by holistically oriented physicians. The future of the Buteyko method in medicine. With growing awareness of the importance of breathing and the role of mindfulness in health, the Buteyko method will continue to gain importance in holistic medicine. It offers a bridge between traditional medicine and modern, patient-centered approaches, a contemporary approach that combines the best of both worlds. The connection to mindfulness. Breathing as meditation. The Buteyko method has not only physical but also mental benefits, closely linking it to the principles of mindfulness. At a time when stress, anxiety, and inner turmoil are on the rise, the method offers a simple and effective way to find calm and balance through breathing. Breathing as a connection between body and mind. Breathing is unique. It's an unconscious bodily function that we can consciously influence. In mindfulness practice, breathing is often used as an anchor to center the mind and be present in the present moment. The Buteyko method utilizes this principle by slowing down breathing and making it more conscious. This calms the nervous system and promotes deep relaxation. Parallels to meditation. Buteyko method exercises, such as light breathing or prolonged exhalation, have a meditative character. They require concentration, mindfulness, and the ability to consciously perceive the rhythm of breathing. As with meditation, practitioners learn to focus on the sensations in their body and let go of distracting thoughts. Stress reduction through breath control. The method activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for rest and relaxation. This makes it an effective tool for stress management. Many users report that conscious breathing helps them remain calm even in difficult moments and better regulate their emotions. A tool for inner balance. The Buteyko method promotes not only physical health but also emotional stability. People who practice regularly report an increased ability to cope with challenges and a generally greater sense of contentment. This is especially valuable in a world where external stimuli and distractions often disrupt inner peace. Integration into daily practice. The connection to mindfulness makes the Buteyko method particularly suitable for everyday use. Breathing exercises can be integrated into your daily routine, whether at work, while waiting in line, or before bed. They are a way to continually center yourself and experience the moment consciously. a holistic approach to mental health. The Buteyko method combines the physiological benefits of breath control with the mental benefits of mindfulness. It offers not only a way to strengthen the body but also to clear the mind and live a more mindful life. In this sense, it is more than just a technique. It is a path to a healthier, more conscious life. How does the Buteyko method fit into our stressful lives? In a world characterized by constant demands, time pressure, and digital overstimulation, more and more people are looking for effective ways to manage stress and improve their health. The Buteyko method offers just that, a simple, natural, and sustainable technique that can be easily integrated into stressful everyday life. It combines physiological benefits with mental calm, making it an ideal tool for the challenges of modern life. Understanding stress as a breathing problem. Stress and breathing patterns are closely linked. Under pressure, we tend to breathe faster and shallower, often through the mouth. This unconscious behavior can trigger hyperventilation, which disrupts the body's oxygen and carbon dioxide levels. The result: an increased heart rate, muscle tension, and a heightened perception of stress. The Buteyko method addresses this by regulating breathing and thereby calming the nervous system. It breaks the vicious cycle of stress and improper breathing. The method as a relaxation technique. A key benefit of the Buteyko method is its calming effect. Simple exercises such as light breathing or prolonged exhalation activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the part of the nervous system responsible for relaxation and regeneration. Just a few minutes of conscious breathing can help reduce stress and bring the body into a state of calm. Suitable for everyday use. Exercises anytime, anywhere. A major advantage of the Buteyko method is its flexibility. The exercises don't require any special equipment or a specific location. They can be performed in the office, during a meeting, while shopping, or even while commuting. Examples include: practice nasal breathing. Consciously keep your mouth closed, even in stressful situations. Extended exhalation. Consciously let the breath out slowly to lower the heart rate. Short breathing pauses. After a normal exhalation, hold your breath for a few seconds and then continue breathing gently. These practices are unobtrusive and easy to integrate into everyday life, making them particularly attractive for busy people. Benefits for work and sleep. Buteyko method helps promote concentration and calmness. Regular breathing exercises can support clearer thinking, calmer conflict resolution, and more creative work. Sleep quality also benefits. People who practice breathing exercises in the evening report more restful sleep and a more refreshed feeling in the morning, a crucial advantage for coping with a stressful day. Support for long-term stress resilience. The Buteyko method is more than just a short-term stress management technique. Through regular practice, the body is trained to automatically respond more calmly in stressful situations. In the long term, it strengthens resilience by stabilizing the nervous system and sustainably optimizing breathing patterns. People who use the method report a deeper sense of control over their emotions and a strengthened inner balance. Easy integration into modern life. Although our lives are often hectic, the Buteyko method doesn't require drastic changes. Even 5-10 minutes of daily practice can have noticeable effects. For people with very tight schedules, it's possible to incorporate breathing exercises into existing routines. For example, while waiting, during a break, or before bedtime. Complement to other stress-reducing measures. The Buteyko method can be excellently combined with other techniques, such as yoga, meditation, or mindfulness exercises. This synergy enhances the effect and promotes holistic well-being. Conclusion: the Buteyko method as a key to stress management. In our stressful world, the Buteyko method offers a practical, effective, and scientifically sound solution to promote calm and health. It's easy to learn, easy to apply, and can become an integral part of your daily routine. Through conscious control of breathing, it helps relax the body, clear the mind, and build long-term resilience to stress, a valuable tool for a more balanced and healthier life. Chapter 8: Deepening and Specialization. Breathing training for special target groups. Pregnant women, elderly people and athletes. The Buteyko method is so flexible that it can be tailored to the individual needs of different target groups. Pregnant women, the elderly, and athletes benefit uniquely from the method by optimizing their breathing and thereby achieving specific advantages. Pregnant women, support during pregnancy and childbirth. During pregnancy, breathing plays a crucial role in the well-being of the mother and the health of the unborn child. Many pregnant women suffer from shortness of breath, exhaustion, or stress as the growing uterus restricts breathing space. The Buteyko method helps reduce these stresses. Gentle breathing exercises such as easy breathing promote calmer, more efficient breathing and reduce stress levels. Improved oxygen supply. Nasal breathing optimizes the oxygen supply for mother and child. Support during labor. The method prepares pregnant women to breathe in a controlled manner and remain calm during labor, which can make labor easier. Older people, promoting health and quality of life. With increasing age, breathing capacity and oxygen supply to the body often decline. This can lead to chronic fatigue, limited mobility, and an increased risk of respiratory diseases. The Buteyko method offers the following benefits for older people: relief from breathing problems. Exercises such as pause control, CP, help normalize breathing and reduce shortness of breath. Promotes mobility. Improved oxygen supply increases energy and facilitates physical activities. Reduction of stress. Older people who regularly perform breathing exercises report increased relaxation and better sleep. Athletes. Performance improvement and regeneration. For athletes, proper breathing is key to optimal performance. The Buteyko method helps maintain efficient breathing even under stress. Increased CO tolerance. Regular exercise improves oxygen availability in the muscles and increases endurance. Improved regeneration. The method calms the nervous system after intense training sessions, which accelerates recovery. Increased performance. By optimizing breathing, athletes can train more intensively and last longer. Adaptation of the Buteyko method for chronic diseases. Chronic diseases such as asthma, COPD, high blood pressure and diabetes require an adapted approach to specifically improve breathing without overtaxing the body. Asthma and COPD. The Buteyko method is particularly effective for respiratory diseases such as asthma and COPD. By reducing the respiratory rate and promoting nasal breathing, symptoms such as shortness of breath, coughing, and chest tightness are alleviated. However, the exercises must be performed gently to avoid overtaxing the body. High blood pressure. Chronic stress and hyperventilation can worsen high blood pressure. This method helps lower blood pressure by activating the parasympathetic nervous system and improving circulation. Exercises such as the prolonged exhalation are ideal for stabilizing blood pressure. Diabetes. In diabetes, impaired breathing can impair the oxygen supply to cells and delay healing. The Buteyko method promotes better oxygen utilization and helps indirectly stabilize blood sugar levels by reducing stress and improving circulation. Individual customization. Chronic conditions often require adjustments in exercise intensity and duration. An experienced Buteyko trainer can develop individualized programs that address the patient's specific needs. How the method supports the healing process. The Buteyko method is a powerful tool to support the body in healing from illness and injury. It promotes the body's natural healing abilities by optimizing breathing and restoring balance to the nervous system. Promoting oxygen supply. The Buteyko method improves oxygen utilization at the cellular level. By stabilizing CO levels in the blood, oxygen can be transported more efficiently to the cells. This supports tissue healing and regeneration. For example, after surgery or injury. Strengthening the immune system. Healthy breathing promotes immune system function. The Buteyko method reduces chronic stress, which can weaken the immune system, and improves circulation, which strengthens the body's defenses. Calming the nervous system. Chronic stress and hyperventilation strain the nervous system and can delay the healing process. This method activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which puts the body into a state of rest and regeneration. Support for inflammation. Many chronic diseases are associated with inflammation. The Buteyko method can help reduce inflammatory responses by improving oxygenation and promoting balance in the body. Holistic approach. The method doesn't work on the body in isolation, but addresses both physical and mental aspects of healing. People who practice the Buteyko method report a heightened sense of control over their health and a higher level of well-being. Conclusion to Chapter 8. The Buteyko method is not only suitable for general use, but can also be adapted to specific target groups and health conditions. Whether pregnant women, the elderly, athletes, or patients with chronic illnesses, the method offers versatile applications to promote health and support the healing process. It is a flexible and powerful tool that has a firm place in the modern healthcare landscape. Chapter 9. Frequently asked questions. Frequently asked questions. What is the Buteyko method? The Buteyko method is a breathing technique aimed at normalizing breathing patterns to improve health. It is based on reducing respiratory volume and promoting nasal breathing. Who developed the Buteyko method? The method was developed in the 1950s by Ukrainian physician Dr. Konstantin Buteyko. It is based on his findings about the health effects of chronic hyperventilation. How does the Buteyko method work? The method uses targeted breathing exercises that stabilize carbon dioxide levels in the body. This leads to a better oxygen supply to the cells and a calming of the nervous system. What health problems is the method suitable for? The Buteyko method is often used for asthma, sleep apnea, high blood pressure, and anxiety disorders. It also helps improve overall breathing efficiency and well-being. Can the Buteyko method help with asthma? Yes. Many studies and reports show that the method can relieve asthma symptoms and reduce the need for medication. It helps calm breathing and reduce bronchospasms. Is this method effective for sleep apnea and snoring? The method promotes nasal breathing and stabilizes breathing during sleep. This can significantly reduce snoring and breathing pauses. How does the Buteyko method support stress management? The breathing exercises calm the nervous system by activating the parasympathetic nervous system. This reduces stress hormones and promotes deeper relaxation. What does light breathing mean in the Buteyko method? Light breathing describes gentle, conscious breathing that reduces the volume of breathing. The goal is to make breathing almost imperceptible and promote balance in the body. What is control pause? CP. CP is a measure of breathing efficiency and measures how long you can hold your breath after an exhalation before the first breath impulse occurs. It indicates how well your breathing patterns are balanced. How do you measure CP correctly? Sit upright, exhale normally, and hold your breath until you feel the first breath impulse. The measured time provides an indication of your breathing efficiency. Why is nasal breathing so important? Nasal breathing filters, humidifies, and warms the air before it enters the lungs. It improves oxygen uptake and reduces respiratory diseases. What are the benefits of the Buteyko method for athletes? The method increases CO tolerance, which improves oxygen utilization and endurance. It also helps with faster recovery after intense training sessions. Can the Buteyko method improve sleep quality? Yes. The method stabilizes nighttime breathing and reduces breathing disorders such as sleep apnea, thereby promoting more restful sleep. How does this method help with anxiety and panic attacks? Conscious breath control calms the nervous system and reduces symptoms of anxiety. It gives those affected a feeling of better control over their breathing and emotions. Can the Buteyko method be used for high blood pressure? Yes. The method helps lower blood pressure by relaxing blood vessels and reducing stress levels. This occurs through normalizing breathing patterns. How does the method fit into everyday life? The exercises can be flexibly integrated into your daily routine. For example, during breaks or before bedtime. They require only a few minutes per day and no special equipment. How long does it take to see results? Many people notice initial improvements after just a few days. However, long-term results require consistent practice over several weeks or months. Are there any risks or side effects? The method is safe when performed correctly. Initial symptoms such as dizziness or discomfort usually disappear once the body adjusts to the new breathing patterns. Is the Buteyko method suitable for children? Yes. The method is safe and effective for children, especially those with asthma or nasal breathing problems. It can be adapted to make it child-friendly. Can pregnant women use the method? Yes. The method is ideal for pregnant women because it eases breathing, reduces stress, and improves the baby's oxygen supply. It can also help with labor preparation. Which exercises are suitable for beginners? Beginners should start with easy breathing and pause control, CP. These exercises are easy to perform and lay the foundation for further progress. Can the method be combined with other therapies? Yes. The Buteyko method complements many medical and complementary approaches. It can be combined with physical therapy, meditation, or conventional medical treatments. Is there scientific evidence for the effectiveness of the Buteyko method? Yes. Numerous studies, particularly on asthma and sleep apnea, demonstrate the effectiveness of the method. It is increasingly recognized in the scientific and medical community. Buteyko method differ from other breathing techniques. The Buteyko method focuses on reducing breathing volume and normalizing CO levels. Unlike other techniques such as deep breathing, it aims to breathe less but more efficiently. What are common mistakes when applying the method? Excessive breath-holding exercises or practicing under stress can impair results. It's important to perform the exercises in a relaxed and calm environment. How do you recognize progress with the Buteyko method? Progress is demonstrated by increased pause control, CP, less shortness of breath, and increased overall energy. Subjective improvements such as better sleep and less stress are also good indicators. Is a trainer required to learn the method? A trainer isn't required, but it can help you learn the exercises correctly. Self-study with books or online courses is also possible. Can the method be used long-term? Yes. The Buteyko method is a lifelong practice that can have lasting positive effects on health. Regular practice promotes sustainable improvements. Are there special adaptations for older people? Yes. The exercises can be adapted to the physical abilities of older people. Gentle, shorter sessions promote breathing without overtaxing the user. How does the Buteyko method help activate the body's self-healing powers? By improving oxygen supply and stabilizing the nervous system, the method supports the body's natural healing processes. It promotes balance and regeneration on a holistic level. Can the Buteyko method replace medication? The Buteyko method can significantly reduce the need for medication in many cases, but it should not be considered a direct replacement for medical treatment. Particularly in chronic conditions such as asthma or high blood pressure, which often require long-term medication, the method can play a complementary role by alleviating symptoms and improving overall well-being. The method works by normalizing breathing and stabilizing carbon dioxide levels in the body, which increases the efficiency of oxygenation and reduces inflammatory processes. As a result, sufferers often experience a reduced dependence on medications such as bronchodilators or antihistamines. However, it is important to introduce the method with caution, especially in individuals who are heavily dependent on medication. Self-reducing or discontinuing medication without consulting a physician is not recommended, as this may lead to health risks. The Buteyko method aims to improve quality of life and reduce the need for medication, but it is not a substitute for medical diagnosis or treatment. Another important aspect is the role of an experienced Buteyko trainer or therapist. They can support patients in safely and effectively integrating the method into their daily routine and monitor their progress. This guided approach ensures optimal use of the method without risking health risks. How quickly do you see results? The speed at which results become visible depends on several factors, including the intensity and regularity of the exercises, the user's general health, and the specific conditions. Many people report noticing an improvement in their symptoms after just a few days or weeks. This may be noticeable in the form of easier breathing, less fatigue, better sleep, or increased energy. For chronic conditions such as asthma or sleep apnea, visible results may require more time and patience. However, it's not uncommon for patients to experience a noticeable reduction in their symptoms within 4 to 6 weeks. Consistent use of the Buteyko method is key, as the body needs time to adjust to the new breathing patterns and implement the positive physiological changes. Long-term results also depend on the integration of the method into daily life. People who practice regularly and incorporate the principles of the Buteyko method, such as nasal breathing, into their daily activities achieve more lasting improvements. It's also important to note that progress can vary from person to person. While some feel positive effects quickly, Others need more time to notice profound changes. Can anyone learn the Buteyko method? The Buteyko method is designed to be learned by people of all ages and health conditions. It requires no special equipment and can be customized to meet the needs of different audiences. This makes it ideal for children, the elderly, pregnant women, and even those with serious chronic illnesses. For children, the method is often taught in a playful way to motivate them and promote understanding of the exercises. For older people, the method can help improve breathing and relieve symptoms such as shortness of breath or fatigue without overtaxing the body. Even for people with limited mobility, the exercises can be adapted so that they can be performed in a comfortable position, sitting or lying down. Another advantage is that the method is easy to learn. Many people start with basic exercises like easy breathing or pause control, CP, which are easy to perform and quickly show initial results. Those who need support can learn from an experienced Buteyko trainer who can provide individual adjustments and recommendations. What is the right balance between exercise and everyday life? The right balance between practice and daily routine is crucial for effective and sustainable use of the Buteyko method. The key is to integrate the breathing exercises into your daily routine in such a way that they don't impose an additional burden. Short but regular sessions of 5-10 minutes can already produce noticeable improvements. A common mistake is expecting too much at once or performing exercises with excessive intensity, which can lead to frustration or discomfort. Instead, the focus should be on consistency. It's better to do smaller exercise sessions daily rather than occasional longer sessions. A proven approach is to reserve specific times in your daily routine, such as in the morning after waking up or in the evening before going to bed. Integrating the principles of the Buteyko method into everyday activities, such as conscious breathing while walking or working, is equally important. This way, the method becomes a natural part of your lifestyle and requires less conscious effort. The balance lies in practicing regular exercises while simultaneously changing your breathing habits in your daily life. Why is guidance from an expert useful? Expert guidance is especially beneficial to ensure the Buteyko method is used correctly and effectively. An experienced trainer can consider individual needs and challenges and adapt the exercises accordingly. This is especially important for people with health conditions or specific goals, such as asthma relief or improving sleep quality. An expert will also help you avoid common mistakes, such as excessive breath holding or overly intense exercises that could lead to discomfort. They will provide constructive feedback and encourage you to continue using the method long term. They can also offer solutions and adjustments if questions or difficulties arise. Another advantage of the guidance is the ability to systematically measure progress. A trainer can regularly check the control value of the pause, CP, and thus document the success of the method. For beginners and advanced practitioners alike, expert support offers a higher level of safety and effectiveness, allowing the method to be integrated even more successfully into everyday life. Chapter 10: Future Prospects and Personal Conclusion. The Buteyko Method in a Changing World. In a constantly changing world characterized by stress, environmental pollution, and chronic health problems, the Buteyko method is gaining relevance. Modern lifestyle habits such as prolonged screen time, lack of exercise, and increased exposure to environmental toxins contribute to unhealthy breathing patterns that negatively impact our physical and mental health in the long term. The method offers a natural and practical approach to addressing the challenges of this time. One of the greatest strengths of the Buteyko method is its accessibility. It requires no expensive equipment or specialized environments and can be practiced anywhere. In a world that often seeks complex solutions to simple problems, the method represents a return to basics, to our breathing, which we can control at any time. It reminds us that the key to health often lies within ourselves. The method is also a tool for the future. While technological advances and modern medicine play important roles, the Buteyko method offers a sustainable complement. It combines ancient wisdom about the power of breathing with modern science and can thus help promote individual resilience and collective health. My vision for breathing. A message of hope. My vision for the future of breathing is a world where people consciously use their breathing to promote health, well-being, and inner balance. Breathing is more than just a biological function. It is a bridge between body and mind, between our inner self and the external world. I hope that the Buteyko method will help embed this understanding in society. At a time when many people feel like they are losing control over their health, conscious breathing offers a source of empowerment. It shows us that we can actively work on our well-being without relying on external means. The ability to control our breath not only provides us with physiological benefits, but also a sense of calm and control in an often chaotic world. My vision is that the Buteyko method will not only be used for respiratory illnesses or stress, but will become an integral part of healthcare and education. If children learn the importance of conscious breathing at an early age and adults incorporate it into their daily lives, we can create a healthier and more mindful society. I want to spread this message of hope. A reminder that the path to a better life begins with a conscious breath. Final thoughts. Breathing as the key to a fulfilled life. The Buteyko method shows us that our breathing is not only a vital function, but also a tool that can help us live more fulfilling lives. It teaches us how to strengthen the connection between body and mind, reduce stress, and take control of our health. In a world often characterized by haste and hectic pace, it offers us a moment of calm and a space for healing. Breathing is the first thing we do when we are born and the last thing before we die. In between lies life, which we can consciously shape with every breath. The Buteyko method reminds us that it's not just about breathing, but how we breathe. It invites us to pause and be mindful of ourselves and our surroundings. In closing, I want to emphasize that breathing is a universal key accessible to all of us. Whether we are struggling with health challenges or simply want to enhance our well-being, breathing offers a simple yet powerful way to positively change our lives. Let's use this key to open the door to a healthier, more mindful, and more fulfilling life. Exercise calendar. A 30-day program for beginners. The Buteyko method offers a practical and effective way to normalize breathing and sustainably improve health. This 30-day program is aimed at beginners and introduces you step by step to the basics and advanced techniques of the method. It is designed to help you develop healthy breathing habits and integrate them into your daily routine. Week 1. Understanding the basics of breathing. Days 1-3. Observe your breathing to begin. Simply observe your breathing to develop awareness of your current breathing patterns. Sit upright or lie comfortably on your back. Notice whether you are breathing through your nose or mouth, how deep your breaths are, and how frequently you breathe. Try keeping your mouth closed and breathing exclusively through your nose. This conscious breathing is an important first step toward normalizing your breathing. Days 4-5. Introduction to easy breathing. Easy breathing is one of the central exercises of the Buteyko method. Sit in a relaxed position. Breathe in and out through your nose, and consciously reduce the depth of your breath. Breathe so gently that the airflow is barely noticeable. Practice this for 5 minutes each morning and evening. The goal is to create a slight feeling of shortness of breath without it becoming uncomfortable. Day 6-7. First control pause. CP. The control pause measures how long you can hold your breath after a normal exhalation until you feel the first breath impulse. Exhale normally. Hold your breath. And time it. Record your baseline, as this will serve as an indicator of your progress. A CP of less than 20 seconds indicates overbreathing. Week 2. Deepen exercises and integrate them into everyday life. Days 8-10. Expanding easy breathing. Increase the time for easy breathing to 10 minutes per session. Continue practicing the exercise in the morning and evening. Observe how your breathing changes as you progress. Do you feel calmer or more relaxed? Days 11-14. Practice breathing in everyday life. Begin to incorporate the principles of the method into your daily life. For example, while walking or working, consciously breathe gently in through your nose. Consciously avoid breathing through your mouth, even in stressful situations. This will reinforce your new breathing patterns and make the method a permanent part of your life. Week 3. Advanced exercises. Days 15-17. Introduce breathing holds. In this phase, you'll add breathing holds. Breath hold exercises. After a normal exhalation, hold your breath for 5-10 seconds before breathing gently again. Repeat this 3-5 times per session. This exercise trains your ability to tolerate CO in the body, which is crucial for healthy breathing. Days 18-21. Combining exercises. Combine easy breathing with pauses to enhance the effect. For example, breathe in and out gently for 5 minutes, then hold your breath for a few seconds after each exhalation. The goal is to stabilize blood CO levels and improve oxygenation to the cells. Week 4. Consolidate and refine the practice. Days 22-25. Extended exhalation. Complement your exercises with the extended exhalation technique. Inhale through your nose and consciously allow your exhalation to be twice as long as your inhalation. This activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which promotes calm and relaxation, and supports the body's regeneration. Days 26-28. Combining the exercises. Combine all the techniques you've learned so far into a complete breathing routine. Start with easy breathing, add pauses, and finish with extended exhalation. This complete session takes 10-15 minutes and will help stabilize your breathing over time. Days 29-30. Reflection and outlook. Take time to reflect on your progress. How has your breathing changed? Do you notice improvements in your well-being, sleep, or energy? Record these observations to strengthen your motivation for long-term practice of the Buteyko method. Set new goals to further deepen your practice. Tips for long-term success. Regularity over intensity. It is more important to practice short sessions daily than to do long exercises occasionally. Be patient. Initial improvements are often subtle. Persevere for long-term results. Integrate rather than force. Let the method become a natural part of your everyday life instead of seeing it as an additional task. Document your progress. Keep a journal to record your CP scores and observations. This will help you stay motivated, With this 30-day program, you'll lay the foundation for healthy breathing patterns and a better quality of life. This method is a lifelong tool that will help you sustainably improve your health and well-being. Glossary. Important terms and concepts of the Buteyko method. Buteyko method. A breathing technique based on reducing the volume of breathing and promoting nasal breathing to improve the balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the body. Control pause. CP. A measure of breathing efficiency that measures the time a person can hold their breath after a normal exhalation. Easy breathing. A fundamental exercise of the method, which involves consciously breathing gently and minimally to normalize the breathing pattern. Nasal breathing. Breathing through the nose, which is considered healthier because it filters, humidifies and warms the air. Hyperventilation. Excessive breathing that lowers carbon dioxide levels in the body and can lead to various health problems. Bohr effect. A physiological mechanism in which carbon dioxide in the blood facilitates the delivery of oxygen to cells. Parasympathetic nervous system. The part of the autonomic nervous system responsible for rest and regeneration, and activated by slow, conscious breathing. Carbon dioxide. CO. A gas that plays a crucial role in oxygen supply and regulation of blood pH. Breathing pattern. The individual pattern of how a person breathes, including rate, depth, and path of breathing. Breath reduction. The conscious reduction of breathing volume in order to restore the balance between oxygen and carbon dioxide in the body. Resources. Books. Websites and organizations for in-depth information. Books. Asthma Free Naturally by Patrick McKeown. A comprehensive guide to using the Buteyko method for respiratory illnesses. Close Your Mouth by Patrick McKeown. A beginner's book on the importance of nasal breathing and practical exercises. The Oxygen Advantage by Patrick McKeown. A book for athletes and fitness enthusiasts that shows how breath control can improve performance. Websites. www.buteyko.com. The official website with information about the method and approved trainers worldwide. www.asthmafoundation.org. A platform with information about respiratory diseases and complementary therapies. www.buteykoclinic.com. Extensive resources, online courses and scientific articles about the Buteyko method. Organizations. Buteyko Breathing Association, an international organization that provides certified trainers and information about the method. International Buteyko Institute, an association dedicated to the research and dissemination of the Buteyko method. Global Buteyko Network, a platform for networking trainers and users of the method. Contact. How to find a certified Buteyko trainer. Buteyko Breathing Association. Visit the Buteyko website Breathing Association, www.buteyko.co.uk, to search for certified trainers in your area. Local health centers. Many health centers and alternative therapy clinics offer Buteyko classes. Ask for certified instructors. Online courses and telecoaching websites like www.buteykoclinic.com offer virtual training sessions and coaching with experienced trainers. This is especially helpful if you can't find a trainer locally. Doctor's recommendations. Ask your doctor or therapist for a recommendation for certified Buteyko trainers, especially if you want to use the method to treat specific conditions. This work was published is exclusively assigned to the publisher Graf Schafter. All rights to use, marketing, and publication under this name are reserved exclusively to the publisher. Use of the pseudonym by third parties for whatever purpose is prohibited and will be prosecuted under copyright law. Rights and ownership notice. This audiobook is published and distributed by Testbericht-Institut LLC. All copyrights, publishing rights, distribution rights, audio rights, and related intellectual property rights for this work have been lawfully and exclusively acquired by Testbericht-Institut LLC. Testbericht-Institut LLC is the sole and unrestricted rights holder of this audiobook, including the right to reproduce, distribute, publish, monetize, and publicly perform the content on digital platforms such as YouTube. The original manuscript files, source documents, and contractual acquisition records serve as proof of lawful ownership. The original author and/or their authorized representative, Renovatio LLC, has transferred all relevant rights to Testbericht-Institut LLC in accordance with applicable copyright and publishing law. This ownership applies to all current and future uses of this work, including audio, video, and digital publications. Effective date of rights ownership: the 1st of February 2026. Any unauthorized use, reproduction, re-upload, redistribution, or claiming of this content is strictly prohibited. Copyright Testbericht-Institut LLC. All rights reserved.